25 richest black celebrities and their hot mistresses. What if we told you that behind the glitz, Grammys, and billion-dollar bank accounts, some of the richest black celebrities were caught in love triangles, secret affairs, and scandals that nearly destroyed their legacies? This isn't just gossip, it's the truth behind the headlines they tried to bury. From explosive confessions to mistresses who shook the world, you're about to see a side of fame they never wanted you to witness. Don't blink. Don't scroll. This is Legends of Black Excellence. Subscribe now and hit the bell, because the real story starts right here. And trust us, it's messier than you think. Sean Corey Carter. Known globally as Jay-Z, Sean Corey Carter is more than just a rapper. He's a business mogul, cultural architect, and one half of one of the most influential power couples in entertainment. With an estimated net worth of over $2.5 billion, Jay-Z built his empire through music, fashion, streaming services, and sports management. But while his professional journey has been an emblem of self-made success, his personal life has drawn just as much public scrutiny, particularly when it comes to fidelity. In 2017, Jay-Z released his 13th studio album, 444, a deeply introspective project in which he admitted to being unfaithful to his wife, Beyoncé. He didn't just confess, he reflected on the emotional damage caused, not only to their marriage but to their daughter, Blue Ivy. The album was seen as a response to Beyoncé's Lemonade, which had previously hinted at betrayal and heartbreak through poetic and raw lyrics. Though neither confirmed it explicitly, the public and media heavily speculated that British pop star Rita Ora may have been involved in the rumored affair. She denied the allegations, but the conversation continued, fueling endless analysis in interviews, tabloids, and social media. Jay-Z's admission stood in contrast to the silent denials common in celebrity culture, making the moment both shocking and oddly redemptive. What sets Jay-Z apart is how he used transparency as a form of control. Rather than being exposed by the media, he took ownership of his mistakes in his own words, through his own art. The scandal didn't collapse his empire, instead, it deepened his narrative. From street hustler to billionaire to a man confronting his flaws, Jay-Z's story is a testament to reinvention, even in the face of deeply personal public revelations. Rita Ora. Rita Ora, a British-Albanian singer, actress, and fashion icon, has made her mark on global pop culture with chart-topping hits, daring fashion choices, and high-profile collaborations. Rising to fame with her debut single Hot Right Now in 2012, she quickly became a mainstay on red carpets and in the entertainment industry, known for her versatility and undeniable star presence. However, her name also became entangled in one of the most watched celebrity controversies of the decade. In 2016, Rita found herself at the center of swirling rumors that linked her romantically to Jay-Z. The speculation wasn't based on confirmed events but rather fan theories following the release of Beyoncé's emotionally raw visual album Lemonade. Listeners and internet sleuths began pointing fingers at unnamed women referenced as Becky with the good hair, a phrase that instantly became part of pop culture vocabulary. Rita Ora, despite denying any romantic involvement with Jay-Z, became one of the women targeted by the frenzy. Her Instagram posts and fashion choices at the time were dissected in obsessive detail, including a pin of the letter J and a lemon-printed bra. Ora spoke out against the rumors, labeling them hurtful and unfounded. She maintained that her relationship with Jay-Z was strictly professional, as she was previously signed to Roc Nation, his entertainment company. Nonetheless, the ordeal showcased how quickly women in the public eye can be vilified without proof. Instead of letting it derail her career, Ora focused on her music, released new albums, expanded into film, and eventually married filmmaker Taika Waititi. Her resilience in navigating media storms without compromising her authenticity has solidified her as more than just a pop star. Rita Ora is a survivor in the ruthless terrain of celebrity culture, determined to define herself beyond the scandal that tried to claim her name. Eldrick Taunt Woods. Better known as Tiger Woods, Eldrick Taunt Woods revolutionized professional golf and became one of the wealthiest athletes in history, with a net worth that once soared past $1 billion. Dominating the sport with 15 major championships and a charismatic presence on the green, Tiger's story took a dramatic turn in 2009, not on the course, but in his personal life. The unraveling began with a car crash outside his Florida home, followed by a cascade of revelations involving numerous extramarital affairs. The most prominent among these was with Rachel Uckadel, a nightclub manager and hostess. Their affair became the face of Tiger's scandal, particularly because of her visibility and the media frenzy surrounding her name. As more women came forward, Tiger's clean image was shattered, leading to the loss of endorsements and a break from professional golf. Tiger publicly apologized in a televised address and entered a rehabilitation program for sex addiction. His divorce from Ellen Nordegren was finalized in 2010. The scandal fundamentally reshaped public perception of Woods, transforming him from a squeaky clean golf prodigy into a deeply flawed human being navigating a personal crisis in front of millions. Despite the fall from grace, Woods mounted one of sport's most impressive comebacks, winning the 2019 Masters in a tearful and redemptive victory. While his relationship history remains a complicated legacy, his athletic accomplishments continue to inspire new generations. Woods' name is now etched in both sports history and the cautionary tales of fame, proof that even the greatest can stumble and still rise. Rachel Uckadel. Rachel Uckadel became a household name in 2009, but not by choice. A former nightclub hostess and VIP manager in New York and Las Vegas, Rachel was the first woman publicly linked to Tiger Woods in the infidelity scandal that dominated headlines for months. Before that, she had worked as a producer for Bloomberg News and held a respected position in nightlife management circles. However, everything changed when her private life collided with the world's most famous golfer. Their affair was exposed by the National Enquirer, launching a relentless media storm. Rachel initially denied the relationship, but mounting evidence and a leaked voicemail from Woods confirmed their connection. Unlike many others in similar positions, Rachel became the media's focal point, vilified and blamed for a downfall that involved many participants. She later spoke candidly in the HBO documentary Tiger, revealing the emotional toll the public shaming took on her life. Far from the mistress label the tabloids stamped on her, Rachel had her own story. She lost her fiancé in the 9/11 attacks, battled personal trauma, and struggled to reclaim her identity after being cast in a global scandal. In the years since, she opened a children's boutique in Manhattan, appeared on reality TV, and trained as a grief counselor. Rachel's story is one of reclaiming power. Once painted as a homewrecker, she has worked to shift the narrative from infamy to survival. Her voice in the Tiger Woods saga adds much-needed nuance to the way society frames women in high-profile affairs. She wasn't just the other woman, she was a woman caught in the tidal wave of someone else's fall. Christopher Maurice Brown. Christopher Maurice Brown rose to stardom in 2005 with his breakout single Run It, launching him into the spotlight as a teenage heartthrob with immense vocal talent and smooth dance moves. His debut album went double platinum, and he was heralded as the next R&B superstar. But as his fame skyrocketed, so did the chaos surrounding his private life, most notably his volatile relationship with pop singer Rihanna. The shocking incident in 2009, where Brown physically assaulted Rihanna before the Grammy Awards, became a cultural flashpoint. Images of Rihanna's bruised face were plastered across media, and Brown was convicted of felony assault. Though he issued a public apology and completed community service, the damage to his image was severe. It also placed him under constant media scrutiny, especially regarding his relationships. Post-Rihanna, Brown entered a long, tumultuous romance with model Karrueche Tran. Their relationship was marred by accusations of cheating and a restraining order filed by Tran in 2017. He also fathered children with multiple women, including Amica Harris and Nia Guzman, sparking headlines about paternity disputes and co-parenting battles. Brown's romantic life seemed to mirror the emotional turbulence often heard in his music. Despite controversies, Brown's career never fully collapsed. He continued to sell out tours, release successful albums, and collaborate with major artists like Drake and Nicki Minaj. His fanbase remains loyal, even as public opinion stays divided. While his wealth, estimated at over $50 million, places him among the industry's elite, his legacy remains inseparable from his personal history. For many, Chris Brown is the archetype of the celebrity whose gifts are equal to his self-inflicted wounds, making his every relationship a spectacle of fame, forgiveness, and fallout. Robin Rihanna Fenty. Robin Rihanna Fenty is more than a global music phenomenon. She's a billionaire entrepreneur, fashion icon, and cultural change-maker. Born in Barbados and signed to Def Jam by Jay-Z at just 16, Rihanna ascended rapidly with hits like Umbrella and Only Girl in the World. By her early 20s, she had become one of the best-selling music artists of all time. Yet, behind her fearless persona and magnetic performances, her personal life was exposed in one of pop culture's darkest chapters. Her relationship with Chris Brown began as a high-profile love story but ended in violence and heartbreak. After the 2009 assault scandal, Rihanna chose not to dwell in the public eye about the incident, focusing instead on her music and healing. Albums like Rated R and Anti-Channeled Pain into Art, and Rihanna's transformation from pop princess to empowered survivor reshaped how fans, and the industry, saw her. But Rihanna refused to let her legacy be defined by trauma. She shifted her attention to beauty and fashion, launching Fenty Beauty in 2017 with a groundbreaking 40 Shade foundation line that revolutionized the cosmetics world. The brand made over $100 million in its first month and pushed Rihanna's net worth over $1.4 billion by 2021. In her romantic life, Rihanna has dated high-profile figures including Saudi billionaire Hassan Jameel and rapper A$AP Rocky, with whom she has 2 sons. Unlike her early years, her relationships now remain largely private, marked by maturity and stability. Rihanna's narrative arc isn't about scandal, it's about reclamation. Once a tabloid target, she now dictates the conversation. Whether walking a runway or launching a business, she remains unbothered, unshaken, and unforgettable, a woman who turned pain into power and emerged even more unstoppable. Kimberly Denise Jones. Kimberly Denise Jones, famously known as Lil' Kim, didn't just break into the male-dominated world of rap, she shattered it in heels and diamonds. With her debut album Hardcore in 1996, she challenged every norm about how a woman should look, sound, and command attention in hip-hop. Her unapologetic sexuality and street-smart lyrics made her a legend. But the love that followed her into fame was anything but glamorous. Her notorious relationship with the Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls, was as intense as it was turbulent. They met before either of them became household names. While Biggie was married to singer Faith Evans, he and Lil' Kim carried on a passionate affair filled with secrecy, emotional manipulation, and artistic collaboration. Kim later revealed she had an abortion during their time together, an agonizing decision made under pressure and confusion. His murder in 1997 left her emotionally wrecked and permanently changed. Kim never got closure. She often referred to Biggie as her soulmate and credited him with pushing her to reach her potential, even as their relationship wounded her deeply. After his death, she carried his legacy in her music but struggled with identity, industry politics, and body image. She underwent a visible physical transformation over the years, leading to widespread speculation and criticism, yet never confirmed specifics publicly. In 2005, she was sentenced to prison for perjury related to a shooting involving her crew. Even then, she remained unapologetically herself, dropping mixtapes and earning respect for her loyalty and resilience. Though her commercial peak has passed, her influence lives on through every female rapper who dares to be bold. Lil' Kim's legacy is layered, part trailblazer, part tragic heroine, and entirely iconic. Her story isn't polished, it's raw, real, and rooted in survival. Stephen Aaron Jordan. Stephen Aaron Jordan, professionally known as Stevie J, began his career as a Grammy-winning music producer in the 1990s, working with legends like Mariah Carey, Notorious B.I.G., and Puff Daddy. But while his contributions to music are undeniable, his name became even more widely known through reality TV, and the romantic chaos that followed him on screen and off. His long-running involvement in VH1's Love and Hip Hop Atlanta turned Stevie J into a reality star infamous for his love triangle with singer Jocelyn Hernandez and longtime partner Mimi Faust. The drama, complete with paternity tests, alleged marriages, and volatile confrontations, cemented Stevie as one of reality TV's most polarizing figures. His on and off relationship with Jocelyn, which included a daughter named Bonnie Bella, was often toxic, emotionally charged, and tabloid-ready. Despite their turbulent past, Stevie shocked fans in 2018 by marrying R&B singer Faith Evans, the widow of his close friend the Notorious B.I.G. While the union seemed like a new chapter, it didn't take long for old patterns to resurface. Their marriage faced numerous rumors, including infidelity and substance abuse accusations. In 2023, Faith filed for divorce after 5 years, bringing another one of Stevie's relationships to a messy end. Yet somehow, Stevie J remains culturally relevant. Whether it's his infamous smirk, meme-worthy one-liners, or his behind-the-scenes music credentials, he's carved a niche where love, lust, and legacy constantly collide. While his romantic life often overshadows his early success, Stevie J represents a rare blend of music talent and reality show theatrics, a man whose affairs, both emotional and professional, are forever entangled in the spectacle of fame. Faith Renee Evans. Faith Renee Evans is a Grammy-winning vocalist, songwriter, and author whose soulful voice helped define R&B and hip-hop soul in the 1990s. Discovered by Sean Diddy Combs and signed as the first female artist on Bad Boy Records, her debut album Faith showcased her incredible vocal range and emotional depth. But her personal life has long been intertwined with two of hip-hop's most iconic and controversial men. Faith's first marriage to the Notorious B.I.G. remains a cornerstone of hip-hop history. The pair married in 1994 just days after meeting, and their relationship was passionate but marred by infidelity and distance. Biggie's affair with Lil' Kim was an open secret, creating tension that lasted beyond his death in 1997. Despite the emotional scars, Faith often spoke of her love for Biggie and honored his legacy by co-producing The King and I, a posthumous duet album featuring unreleased verses from him. In a surprising twist, Faith married longtime friend and producer Stevie J in 2018. The announcement stunned fans, considering Stevie's tabloid-fueled past and his former ties to Biggie. Their marriage, though initially celebrated as a full-circle moment in R&B history, quickly encountered turbulence. In 2021, Stevie was arrested for alleged domestic issues, and by 2023, Faith filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. Through it all, Faith remained composed, choosing to focus on her music and family rather than engage in public feuds. Her career includes platinum albums, collaborations with icons like Mary J. Blige and Whitney Houston, and a memoir titled Keep the Faith, a fitting phrase for a woman who has endured betrayal, loss, and reinvention. While often cast as the wife in someone else's story, Faith Evans is, above all, a resilient artist with a voice and journey entirely her own. Jocelyn Hernandez. Jocelyn Hernandez burst onto the scene as the fiery, Puerto Rican princess of love and hip-hop, Atlanta, instantly becoming one of reality television's most talked-about stars. Known for her explosive temper, unapologetic attitude, and bold fashion, she redefined what it meant to be a reality TV icon. But her rise to fame was inseparable from her romantic, and controversial, relationship with music producer Stevie J. Discovered by Stevie while dancing in a strip club, Jocelyn was quickly introduced as his new musical protege and love interest, all while he was still involved with longtime partner Mimi Faust. Their love triangle became the centerpiece of the show, filled with emotional outbursts, deception, and public humiliation. Despite repeated betrayals and a fake wedding storyline for ratings, Jocelyn remained fiercely loyal for years. In 2016, Jocelyn gave birth to their daughter, Bonnie Bella, which briefly united the pair before things fell apart again amid bitter custody battles and public spats. Accusations flew, from drug abuse to infidelity, cementing Jocelyn's image as both a victim and participant in a destructive relationship dynamic. While critics dismissed her as just another reality star, Jocelyn fought to reclaim control over her image. Post Stevie J, she launched her own show Jocelyn's Cabaret, showcasing her business ambitions and desire to uplift other women from similar backgrounds. She also expanded into acting and music, releasing independent projects and building her brand without relying on her ex. Despite, or perhaps because of, her messy past, Jocelyn Hernandez has become a symbol of raw, unfiltered survival in a world that profits from chaos. Her entanglement with Stevie J may have introduced her to audiences, but it's her ability to endure and evolve that keeps her name alive. Peter Pankey. Peter Pankey, better known by his stage name Peter Guns, may have started his career in hip-hop with the 1997 hit Deja Vu, Uptown Baby, alongside Lord Tariq, but it was his tangled web of relationships on Love and Hip-Hop, New York that made him a household name. While his music career stalled, his personal life flourished in complexity, creating one of the most notorious love triangles in reality television history. Peter's long-term partner Tara Wallace, with whom he shares 3 sons, was blindsided when it was revealed he had secretly married another woman, Amina Butterfly, a singer he had been managing, and simultaneously dating, behind Tara's back. What followed was a storm of tears, betrayal, and shifting loyalties, all captured in painful detail on national television. The scandal deepened when both women became pregnant by Peter at nearly the same time. Viewers watched in disbelief as he bounced between the two households, unable, or unwilling, to make a clear choice. His excuses often came across as immature or manipulative, sparking widespread criticism but also making for highly addictive TV. Despite being widely labeled as a womanizer, Peter later took on a surprising role as the host of Cheaters, a show that exposes infidelity, a move many saw as ironic given his past. He has since expressed regret over his behavior, stating that fame magnified his flaws and complicated already fragile dynamics. Today, Peter continues to co-parent his large family and occasionally releases music. While his name may never top the charts again, it's permanently etched in pop culture lore as a cautionary figure, someone whose romantic choices overshadowed his artistry and turned his life into an ongoing soap opera with real consequences. Tara Wallace. Tara Wallace, best known for her role on Love and Hip Hop, New York, didn't enter reality television as a celebrity, but she left it as one of the show's most emotionally resonant figures. A theater-trained actress with a master's degree in fine arts, Tara never imagined that her long-term relationship with rapper Peter Guns would become a televised cautionary tale of betrayal and public heartbreak. For over a decade, Tara believed she was building a life with Peter, raising 3 sons and maintaining a loyal home. That illusion shattered when she discovered, on camera, that Peter had secretly married another woman, singer Amina Butterfly. The betrayal wasn't just personal, it was national, unfolding in front of millions who watched her pain, humiliation, and confrontation play out episode by episode. What made Tara's story so striking was her vulnerability. Unlike others who played the villain or the vixen, Tara embodied the dignity of a woman trying to make sense of a crumbling foundation. Even after learning of Peter's deception, she continued to navigate co-parenting, forgiveness, and emotional recovery in full view of the public. Her quiet strength didn't go unnoticed. Fans sympathized with her, praised her composure, and criticized the show's producers for exploiting her pain. Tara later revealed that she chose to remain on the show to provide for her children and regain control of her narrative. In the years since, she has focused on motherhood, stage work, and personal growth. She also advocates for women's empowerment, often speaking about the complexities of love, trust, and emotional resilience. Tara Wallace didn't sign up to be a reality star, but through heartbreak and healing, she became something far more powerful, a mirror for women grappling with love's most painful lessons. Amina Pankey. Amina Pankey, born Aminata Schmal, is a German-born singer, songwriter, and reality star who became widely recognized through her role on Love and Hip Hop, New York. Though once known for her work in the pop/R&B duo Black Butterfly, her relationship with Peter Guns ultimately defined her public image. What began as a professional collaboration soon evolved into one of the most controversial marriages in reality TV history. Peter and Amina's secret wedding shocked audiences, and Peter's longtime partner Tara Wallace. The revelation that Peter was romantically involved with both women simultaneously, fathering children with each in overlapping timelines, created a firestorm of emotion, backlash, and viral moments. Amina, often painted as the other woman, defended her love for Peter, stating that their bond felt genuine, even when the circumstances suggested otherwise. Her journey on the show was filled with heartbreak. She had 2 daughters with Peter and also experienced an abortion and later a miscarriage, adding layers of emotional depth to a storyline often treated as mere entertainment. Despite being judged harshly by fans and co-stars, Amina tried to maintain her dignity while navigating public shame and personal pain. Eventually, she moved to Los Angeles, focusing on her solo music career and raising her daughters in a more peaceful environment. In recent years, she's released multiple EPs and written a memoir reflecting on her experiences with love, betrayal, and growth. Amina's story is not just one of scandal, but of resilience. She entered the spotlight as someone's secret, but has since rewritten her role, not as a footnote in someone else's drama, but as a woman determined to reclaim her voice and future on her own terms. Mantia Sabag. Mantia Sabag, a model and aspiring singer, became an unexpected household name in 2017 after a brief affair with comedian Kevin Hart turned into a headline-making scandal. What began as a private weekend in Las Vegas quickly spiraled into public chaos when an intimate video of the two was leaked, without her consent, triggering both legal and emotional fallout. Mantia met Hart at a private party and claims they were intimate 3 times over a 3-day period, unaware that he was married to his then-pregnant wife, Iniko Parrish. When the footage surfaced, Hart publicly apologized, not just for cheating, but for what he framed as a bad error in judgment that put his family at risk. The scandal deeply affected Mantia, who immediately denied any involvement in what Hart described as an extortion attempt. She later filed a lawsuit against Hart and others, alleging that she was secretly filmed and emotionally exploited. Though the legal claims were eventually dismissed, the public exposure left an indelible mark on her reputation. Mantia struggled to distance herself from the Mistress label, insisting she was not the villain in someone else's marriage breakdown. In interviews, she expressed feeling betrayed, not just by Hart, but by the media that painted her as a willing participant in the drama. Over time, Mantia shifted focus toward rebuilding her image and exploring creative outlets, including music and advocacy against unauthorized recording and revenge porn. Mantia Sabag didn't seek fame through controversy, but her involvement in the Kevin Hart scandal thrust her into an unforgiving spotlight. Her story remains a cautionary tale about privacy, power, and the unseen costs of celebrity missteps. Kevin Darnell Hart. Kevin Darnell Hart is one of the most successful comedians and actors in modern entertainment, with a net worth estimated at over $450 million. From sold-out arena tours to blockbuster films like Jumanji and Ride Along, Hart built a global empire on self-deprecating humor, relentless hustle, and sharp wit. However, in 2017, his brand took a serious hit, not in the box office, but in his personal life. During a trip to Las Vegas, Hart was secretly recorded in a compromising situation with model Mantia Sabag. The footage was leaked online, and rumors quickly swirled that he was being blackmailed. In a surprising move, Hart took control of the narrative by releasing a public apology on Instagram, admitting to the affair and apologizing to his then-pregnant wife, Iniko Parrish. The fallout was intense. Iniko stood by Hart, but the scandal dominated headlines and tested his carefully curated public image. Hart later revealed that he was being extorted by a close friend, who helped set up the recording, adding a layer of betrayal to an already damaging episode. In the years since, Hart has worked to rebuild his image, often including references to his mistakes in his stand-up material. He's leaned into themes of accountability and personal growth, attempting to turn scandal into teachable moments. His marriage survived, and his career, while momentarily shaken, resumed its upward climb. For all his success, Kevin Hart's affair served as a reminder that fame doesn't grant immunity from moral reckoning. The scandal, made more complex by technology and betrayal, became one of the defining personal challenges in Hart's life, and a chapter he continues to publicly own, joke about, and learn from. Kobe Bean Bryant. Kobe Bryant wasn't just a basketball player, he was an icon, a relentless competitor, and one of the most admired athletes of his generation. A 5-time NBA champion with the Los Angeles Lakers, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and Academy Award winner, Kobe's career was marked by excellence and discipline. Yet, even his legacy of greatness wasn't immune to scandal. In 2003, Kobe was accused of sexual assault by a hotel employee in Colorado. While the criminal case was eventually dropped and a civil settlement reached, he admitted to committing adultery, marking a profound turning point in his personal and public life. At a now famous press conference, his wife Vanessa stood silently by his side as he addressed the allegations and apologized for his infidelity. He also acknowledged the emotional toll it had taken on his marriage, revealing years later that he believed the incident contributed to one of Vanessa's miscarriages. Despite the controversy, Kobe worked hard to repair his image, both as a husband and as a public figure. He and Vanessa renewed their commitment, raised 4 daughters together, and became an enduring symbol of reconciliation in the face of unimaginable public pressure. Kobe's post-retirement life was marked by creativity and mentorship. He won an Oscar for his animated short film Dear Basketball, coached his daughter Gianna's basketball team, and launched initiatives to support women in sports. Tragically, both Kobe and Gianna were killed in a helicopter crash in January 2020, leaving the world mourning a man who had just begun a promising second act. His legacy is complex, etched in both triumph and controversy, but undeniably powerful. Kobe Bryant left behind not only championship rings, but a story of fallibility, redemption, and human resilience. Vanessa Lane Bryant. Vanessa Lane Bryant, once a shy teenager discovered in a music video casting, has become one of the most dignified and resilient figures in the public eye. Best known as the wife of NBA legend Kobe Bryant, Vanessa's life has been a study in strength, privacy, and quiet perseverance amid unimaginable highs and devastating lows. She met Kobe in 1999 when she was just 17. Their whirlwind romance quickly led to engagement and marriage by 2001. As Kobe's fame skyrocketed, Vanessa took on the role of wife and mother with grace, shielding her family from the media spotlight while standing by her husband through the intense scrutiny that came with stardom. In 2003, her world was turned upside down when Kobe was accused of sexual assault. Though he denied non-consensual behavior, he admitted to being unfaithful. Vanessa's silent yet powerful presence beside him during the press conference became a defining image, one that spoke volumes without a single word. She stayed through the scandal, filed for divorce in 2011 citing irreconcilable differences, but withdrew the petition in 2013. Their decision to remain together strengthened the narrative of forgiveness and healing. Vanessa later gave birth to 2 more daughters, expanding their family to 4 children. She remained largely behind the scenes until Kobe and their daughter Gianna's tragic death in 2020. In the aftermath, Vanessa took on a public role as the face of his legacy, filing lawsuits, speaking at memorials, and continuing his philanthropic work through the Mamba and Mambacita Foundation. Today, Vanessa is more than a widow or celebrity spouse. She's a mother, advocate, and symbol of enduring grace in the face of public trauma. Her story is a testament to how love and pain can coexist, and how dignity can outlast scandal. Usher Raymond IV. Usher Raymond IV has been a mainstay in the music industry for over 2 decades, known for smooth vocals, mesmerizing choreography, and a career studded with platinum records and Grammy Awards. From Confessions to Yeah, Usher's music has chronicled love, temptation, and regret, sometimes mirroring his real-life romantic entanglements. With over 75 million records sold worldwide, Usher is one of the best-selling music artists of all time. However, much like the themes in his lyrics, his personal life has seen its share of turbulence. His 2004 album Confessions became a commercial juggernaut, fueled by speculation that it was inspired by his own infidelities during his high-profile relationship with TLC's Chili. Usher married stylist Tamika Foster in 2007, a union that sparked public controversy and tension. The couple divorced 2 years later, followed by a bitter custody battle over their children. In the early 2010s, he became entangled in a legal storm when multiple women and men accused him of failing to disclose an alleged herpes diagnosis. Though he denied wrongdoing and some cases were dismissed, the scandal cast a shadow over his image for years. Despite the headlines, Usher remained musically active and respected. In 2019, he began dating music executive Jen Goikoetxe, and they quietly welcomed 2 children together. In 2024, the couple obtained a marriage license and wed in Las Vegas just days before his Super Bowl halftime performance, cementing a full-circle moment of personal and professional triumph. Usher's journey has been marked by desire, disclosure, and drama. But it's also a story of resilience. Through scandal, reinvention, and unexpected fatherhood, He's proven that true artistry often comes with messy, very human chapters. Gabrielle Monique Union Wade. Gabrielle Union has long been admired for her strength, intelligence, and authenticity, traits that have made her both a celebrated actress and a powerful voice for social change. With a career spanning over 2 decades, she starred in iconic films like Bring It On, Bad Boys 2, and Being Mary Jane. But her private life, especially her relationship with NBA star Dwayne Wade, has also drawn intense public interest. Gabrielle met Dwayne in 2007 at a Super Bowl party. Though their romance didn't begin immediately, the chemistry eventually turned into a full-fledged relationship. But their love story wasn't without complication. In 2013, the couple briefly separated, during which time Wade fathered a child with another woman. The news rocked fans and challenged Gabrielle's trust, but instead of walking away, she chose to stay and rebuild. That same year, they became engaged, and in August 2014, they wed in a lavish ceremony in Miami. Their marriage has since been a symbol of resilience and healing, openly discussing their trials and triumphs in interviews and Union's best-selling memoir, We're Going to Need More Wine. In 2018, Gabrielle and Dwayne welcomed their daughter Kavia via surrogate after years of struggling with infertility, a journey Union shared publicly to help break the silence around reproductive health. Today, she is a devoted stepmother to Wade's children and an advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, inspired in part by supporting Wade's transgender daughter, Zaya. Gabrielle Union is not defined by scandal or setbacks. She's a woman who faced emotional upheaval, made difficult choices, and emerged even stronger. Her marriage may have begun with trials, but it now stands as one of the most emotionally honest and unbreakable partnerships in Black celebrity culture. Alicia Ajello Cook. Alicia Ajello Cook, known globally as Alicia Keys, is a 15-time Grammy Award-winning singer, classically trained pianist, and activist. With hits like Fallon, If I Ain't Got You, and No One, she redefined soul music in the 2000s with her signature blend of vulnerability and power. But while her musical journey has been nearly flawless, her romantic life stirred quiet controversy when it intersected with a complicated marital separation. Alicia began dating producer Kasim Swizz Beatz Dean in the late 2000s while he was still legally married to singer Mashonda Tafrere. Though both Alicia and Swizz maintained that his marriage had ended before their relationship began, the timeline raised eyebrows. Mashonda publicly criticized Alicia for her involvement, even penning an open letter addressing the betrayal. For years, Alicia remained silent on the topic, instead pouring her energy into music and humanitarian efforts. Her work with HIV/AIDS awareness, education, and social justice elevated her reputation beyond music. But in 2010, she and Swizz Beatz married and later welcomed 2 sons together. Their family unit eventually included Mashonda and Swizz's children from previous relationships, a blended family built on what Alicia would later call reconciliation through maturity. In her memoir More Myself, Alicia acknowledged the emotional complexities of their early days and expressed empathy for the pain caused. Over time, she and Mashonda worked toward peace, even co-authoring a book on co-parenting. Alicia Keys may have faced whispers of scandal, but her public life remains rooted in growth and purpose. Her story serves as a reminder that the truth is rarely black and white, and that with time, transparency, and grace, even a stormy beginning can lead to harmony. Edward Reagan Murphy. Edward Reagan Murphy, universally known as Eddie Murphy, is a comedic genius whose career spans stand-up, television, music, and blockbuster film. From Saturday Night Live to hits like Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop, and Shrek, Murphy has cemented his place as one of the highest-grossing and most influential entertainers of all time. But beyond the box office numbers and accolades lies a romantic history just as prolific and headline-worthy. Murphy has fathered 10 children with 5 different women, and among his most talked-about relationships was with Melanie Brown, aka Mel B of the Spice Girls. Their whirlwind romance began in 2006 and quickly turned serious, with Mel B becoming pregnant with their daughter, Angel Iris. At the time, Murphy made headlines by publicly questioning the paternity, a move that drew criticism for its insensitivity and lack of discretion. A DNA test later confirmed he was indeed the father, and though the relationship ended bitterly, Murphy has since formed a closer bond with Angel. Melby revealed in interviews that their relationship was more serious than the media portrayed, calling him the love of her life and asserting their pregnancy had been planned. Murphy's relationships, whether brief flings or long-term unions, have remained a focal point of tabloid fascination. Yet despite the scrutiny, he has maintained a surprisingly private personal life in recent years. Currently engaged to model Paige Butcher, with whom he has 2 children, Murphy now projects the image of a settled family man. Still, his past looms large in public memory. Eddie Murphy's legacy isn't only written in laughter and box office records, but also in the entangled, very human relationships that kept his name in the headlines as much as his movies. They say love and legacy rarely mix, but these 25 black icons prove the two often collide in the most unforgettable ways. From billion-dollar empires to tabloid-shaking affairs, their private lives have become just as legendary as their public triumphs. But here's the real question: do scandals like these diminish greatness, or simply reveal the humanity behind the fame? Let us know what you think in the comments. Are they victims of the spotlight or architects of their own downfall? This is Legends of Black Excellence, where we don't just tell stories, we ask the hard questions that keep the conversation going.